Fry had been tortured to the brink of insanity. At the bank, they ran into Roberto robbing the place. Roberto asked Bender to help, and when leaving, he even split the stolen cash with both of them. Right then, the police arrived and surrounded them. In court, security footage showed all three of them dividing the money. Roberto sat in the audience threatening them with a knife, and Fry was too terrified to identify him. The lawyer suggested pleading insanity, but the human asylum was already full. So the judge sentenced both Fry and Bender to the robot mental asylum.
Oh, good, a physical. Once they examine my fragile, naked, pink body, they'll see I'm not a...
After a series of robot-only tests and electroshock therapy, Fry was covered in injuries. He kept telling the robot doctors that he was human, but they didn't believe him at all. Fry's roommate was a robot named Eddie, who was emotionally unstable. Fry greeted him politely, and Eddie immediately exploded. In the robot cafeteria, the only food available was crude oil. Fry couldn't eat anything. A few days later, the crew came to visit. Fry was already beaten down beyond recognition. If not for the food a vending machine occasionally spat out, he would have starved to death.
Gimme!
At night, Fry curled up into a ball, unable to sleep. Suddenly, the door opened. A doctor said someone was being released. Fry was overjoyed, but the doctor meant Eddie.
Me? What a surprise!
Fry soon received a new roommate, Roberto. He'd been caught for robbing the same bank again. Roberto told Fry not to move because he needed to practice his knife skills. Fry trembled uncontrollably, finally breaking down completely.
I'm not a robot!
The next day, the doctor told the crew that Fry could be discharged, but Fry now believed he was a robot.
Affirmative. I feel nothing. I am a robot. Beep, beep, beep.
No matter what anyone said, he refused to accept being human. Trying to develop his purpose, he threw away the crew's tools, then chugged alcohol nonstop to charge his battery. Meanwhile, Roberto forced Bender to pretend to be a patient, and the two escaped from the asylum. To repay Bender, Roberto robbed that same bank again, but this time the police were already waiting. He grabbed the money and fled. The two ran all the way to Planet Express. Surrounded by police, Roberto took everyone hostage and planned to slice Bender open first, but Fry suddenly appeared. Believing he was a combat robot, he claimed he wasn't afraid of Roberto at all. Enraged, Roberto stabbed him, but the knife hit a can of motor oil Fry had taped to his chest. Seeing the oil gush out, Fry became even more convinced that he was a robot. He walked toward Roberto without fear. Even Roberto started to believe it, backing away in terror before throwing his knife and jumping out the window. With the crisis over, Fry looked down at the wound and saw blood flowing out. Only then did he snap out of it, realizing he was human, not a machine.